Welcome to Freedom Cast. This podcast was started by a dude buying and selling fitness equipment in his backyard. In less than a year, I quit my Fortune 100 job and started a fitness empire. I now interview business owners who have built businesses around helping others get healthy and active. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's informative. It's what fitness should be. Freedom Cast is brought to you by Freedom Fitness Equipment in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's get rolling. I like interviewing people from a variety of backgrounds, and I thought your story in particular, the weight loss journey and that whole bit, was really intriguing. So I wanted to ask you, first of all, who you are, just for people who don't know, and then get right into everything you've been posting on Instagram, why you started that account, and kind of the background there. But yeah, can you tell us who you are, your name, and all of that good stuff?
Well, I am Sabrina DiDomenico. I'm from Kansas. I'm a married mom of 7. Actually have a grandbaby now, and he's about 9 months. Yeah, nice. So that's been fun, grandma life.
Yeah.
I started, my whole journey started by just a well check at the doctor's office. Went in, did blood work, found out that I was in trouble. So she told me, I could either, do this the easy way and just get put on these drugs for diabetes and blood pressure and my cholesterol, or I can actually, work and try to get it off myself. So because I hate taking pills, I decided to do it the hard way. So.
Nice. That's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you went about lose? And first of all, how many pounds did you have to lose? It looked like, it looked monumental starting out.
I'm a bit shorter. I'm about 5'4". Okay. So I weighed about 225, okay, which looks really like a lot on a smaller frame. But so I lost, I would say about 85 pounds.
Wow.
And I started just by walking. So I tell a lot of people, you don't have to do a lot of crazy things to lose it. You just have to start getting active.
Yeah. How often were you walking? I've heard people doing like an hour a day, that kind of thing. I mean, was it like you trying to lose like a pound a week, or were you trying to do this all at once, like crazy going at it?
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I started with like 1 mile. I was like, okay, I'm going to walk a mile. And then I was like, well, that was easy. So I started walking a couple miles a day. And I'd say I wasn't walking more than maybe an hour. That was about the max. I wouldn't walk more than that because I was walking my dog for the most part. And I started, there's an app on my phone, that Samsung Health app, that I started using to like kind of watch my foods. But I had no idea what I was doing. So the whole, how many calories are you supposed to consume? I read on a cereal box, the little nutritional facts, and it said 2,000 calories a day. So that was what I decided to go after. I had no idea about, what I should be consuming for my size or anything. So doing that, just going by 2,000 a day and just walking, it just started falling off. And I was, at first, a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to come back. It's water weight and all this stuff. And I was like, well, that's kind of crappy, but it didn't come back. I just kept going and coming off, and it was great. So then I started throwing in more exercise and just little dumbbell work. And I really didn't get into the weights until like actually doing lifts until probably about a year into it. I was just doing kettlebells, dumbbells, walking, and running. I started running after about 2 to 3 months. After just walking, I started trying to actually throw in a little bit of running.
Yeah.
And it was rough.
Yeah,
because I was still at 200 pounds, and it was just, it was really rough when I started, but it got easier and easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. You take a break, it gets hard again. So
you said it sounded like people were like actively discouraging you from losing like, what the heck?
yeah, it was, I don't know if it was jealousy. I have no clue. But I would have a lot of people tell me it was water weight. It would just come right back. It's not that easy. Just all kinds of weird stuff like that. And it really kind of made me think, well, maybe they're right, because you always hear losing weight is really,
Yeah.
really hard. But I've never had the weight come back. It's, I don't know. It's probably because I stay active all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But before, I was a couch potato. I watched soaps during the day and my kids were home. So I didn't do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started doing all this, my body just, I think, took off with it.
That's amazing. It's a really shitty thing for people to do too. Like, I don't know, most of the weight loss journey, well, I shouldn't say all the weight loss. Usually people are pretty happy, when their friends are going through transformation, because it's like, holy cow, maybe I could do this too. But I guess I guess some people are just not big fans. That's so bizarre to me. Like, it's your livelihood, right?
Yeah, and I had tons of support with it, but then there was just still those, I feel like there was just a few people that they just didn't want to see it happen. Like that they had tried in the past and it didn't happen for them. So it's not going to happen for me. Okay. But I get tons of support, and I'm always being supportive. Unfortunately, I've seen several friends that started when I started, and they just couldn't do it and keep it off. But I'm still supportive when they start back in it. I'm like, you can do it. You can do it. It's, I never would have thought that I could keep off, or that I never even imagined that I would get this far as I am right now. Yeah. I was basically just doing it to get healthier and get those numbers down. She had me she was testing my blood like every 3 months. Wow. Just to make sure that if I messed up and those numbers went back up, she said I would have to go on the medication. And so I was determined. I was like, nope, not doing meds. So, I worked hard, and hard work does pay off. I mean, you put in the work, you're going to get results. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's better than doing a gastric bypass, which you can never reverse. I'm sure that thought crossed your mind. Did that thought cross your mind at any time?
No, not really, because I don't know. It never really did. Once I saw, so I've never tried to lose weight in my life. Never. Oh, wow. Yeah. So when I started this and it started coming off and I saw it, I was just like mind blown first that it was coming off so easy. But so I never really had that thought in the past, like, oh, you should just do this. I've never tried to lose weight. I had, all these years with my kids as babies. I had 7 kids in 10 years. So wow. So I had all these babies to take care of, and my weight, I was really on the back burner. A lot of moms, that's what we do. We just, we don't care about ourselves anymore. We don't put ourselves together. We worry about feeding these kids and getting them to school in the mornings and making their food and just keeping them healthy. And so while I was feeding the kids great, I was feeding them their fruits and veggies and having them in all these different things like baseball and football and volleyball. I had all the kids in all these sports. I wasn't doing anything for myself. So, and that's, that happens with a lot of us moms. It's just, we don't have the time. That's the biggest thing. I've always said in the past, I didn't have the time. There was just no time. And you really do have to carve out that time as a mom and just say, I've got to do this for myself.
Yeah. So that's a question. So for all the moms out there who, my wife's pregnant with her second, how do you structure your day? Do you just tell the kids, look, mom's going out, she's working out for X period of time, you got to take care of yourselves, and that's the way it's going to be? Or do you have time during the day? Are they at school that you can just do this and have uninterrupted time?
Yeah. So when I first started, my daughter had just went to kindergarten for all day kindergarten. So I had during the day when she left, that was, I had time during the day to get this done. Finally, all of a sudden I had some hours to myself. Now, so they're older, and my youngest is 10. And so they're pretty much on their own now. I just say, I have to go to, I have to go to the gym. I have to, I have to go for a run. They're, okay. They're totally supportive and don't really care. They would come out here when they were little, and I just kind of give them a kettlebell or something to play with when I needed to work. And that was good. That was okay with them. They like to be out here.
Oh, nice.
But now this is like, nah, whatever, you go do your thing. So, but yeah, so you just really have to, I don't know, just put your foot down as a mom and just say, 30 minutes a day, honestly, is really all you need to do. Just 30 minutes of walking or moving of some sort, and watching your foods a little better. And that's, that's really all it takes. But yeah, kids really do make it hard to do. And there's been times where, with COVID and all this, the last year, I was just like, because the kids were home the whole time. And it's like, okay, guys, I've still got to do this, even though you're here. So there's been a lot of making food ahead of time, and like breakfast is always ready in the morning. If I wanted to go for a run early in the morning, there's breakfast. But they're just getting so old now, it's not as big of an issue as it was before. So that's kind of nice.
Okay, let's get rid of some of the excuses. So you must have help. You must be the perfect mom. You must be a super mom. I could never do this. How in a million years? Like what? Like how do you get rid of those kinds of excuses? Like, I'm too busy. I have a bunch of kids. I don't really have any help with that. Like, or you're the exception to the rule, because you're just an elite mother in the universe.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people say things like, I can't do what you do, or I don't know, in a way it feels like a guilt trip when people say things like that. But you just, I don't know. Really just have to coordinate in some way, I guess, with your life to make it, I don't know, like early, I've got friends that work out early in the morning to get things done. Like, I don't know how they do it, 4 to 5.
No, thank you.
I don't know how they do it, but that's great. And sometimes I do end up out here till 11 o'clock at night, and it's just life. If I have, like this week, I've got some concerts for school, which is great because, we haven't got to do any of this stuff for like the past year. So we have some concerts and practice for volleyball and stuff, and just got to rearrange my schedule a little bit to do different things. But yeah, as a mom, it's really hard, but we can do it. We just have to find a way to do it. So
scheduling and working around things and just making it happen.
Well,
and if you have 7 kids and you were at that weight and you lost almost, anybody can do it. What's the average? Is 2 to 3 kids per family. Like, you've got 7. Like, let's get real. It's not like it's an unachievable goal. So whereabouts are you guys located? You're in, sorry, I forgot the location already. It's in.
We're about 40 minutes from Wichita.
Okay.
So about 30 to 40 minutes. So I train mainly here at home.
Yeah.
But in the last year and a half or so, I've been involved with the gym. We got involved with the gym in Wichita, Top Crop Barbell.
Nice.
And they train powerlifting. Well, they train everything, but mainly there's the strong points there are for, as far as their training is Olympic moves, strongman, and powerlifting.
Okay.
And so I was having issues with my squat here at home. I would have occasionally get a comment, your squat's not quite there, something's wrong. So I went up and hired a trainer, who's actually the owner of the gym, and she helped me with it because I was just not sitting back right. And then it just kind of took off from there. She's really into more strongman. And so she's trying to get a group of ladies involved in this. So when I went in there, my main focus was getting that squat right, doing powerlifting meets, and that was about it at that time. But then she kind of got me involved in the strongman, and honestly, I love it. It's so much fun. I love racing. Racing has been one of my my favorite thing. I don't know, I just like to compete. It's not really competing with people, it's competing with myself. It's pushing myself to work hard, because I just feel like, all those years of motherhood, I didn't really push myself like I can now. So I'm like really out there just trying to prove to myself that I can do these things.
Yeah, that's huge. So. Why, when you first started out, were you doing, I know you're doing the walking and then the running, was it immediately then into powerlifting or just general weightlifting when you were starting out?
So I went from the walking to the running to just doing like, kettlebells, dumbbells, wall ball, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then, I started wanting to race a little bit. So I did several races. And then I just started venturing into the big three.
Okay.
Trying to work on that, because I was like, just the whole maxing thing. I tried a few times and I was like, this is kind of fun. So then I got more into maxing out, and probably maxing out a little bit more than I should have. But it was just proving to myself that you can do this. That was it's just what I was trying to do, is you can do this. So then I got really into it, and that's when I went ahead and hired her as a trainer, because I was like, I need to get the squat figured out, because I didn't want to go into a powerlifting meet and have this squat that is not going to get me, below parallel. And so that was it. That was the start of it. And then, as I've done this the last, with COVID, I couldn't even do the meet. The first meet I had was canceled. So went up and did this other mock meet. I think it was in September. So I did the mock meet. And then after that, just she was kind of, trying to get more girls into the strongman thing. I was like, sure, let's try it out. So, so I tried it, and I don't know. I really enjoy it's just not always the same thing.
Yeah.
So you're doing different things all the time, which is I don't know. I kind of have an ADHD brain. All over the place. So so I can do farmer walks, I can throw kegs, I can throw bags, I can just, do all these different things, pick up stones. It's just all over the place. There's so many different things you can do for events. And then you get on there and you start looking at events and you're like, oh, I could do these. So
that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, because strongman, you can basically pick up any implement you can find essentially in your yard, from what I understand and from what I see, and just use it. There actually, I don't know. Have you seen a growth in that? I don't know how into strongman you are. I know you really enjoy it, but like, I'm getting the sense that strongman is starting to get some momentum, just in the lifting community in general. It's getting a lot more popular. Have you seen that at all?
I feel like a lot of more people are looking into it. I don't know. I think more ladies. Honestly, I will just say, I think the men's requirements on weight are insane. I think the ladies, it's pretty intense, but the guys, I feel like they're required to do a lot more. But it really pushes you. I mean, I've had pain that I have not in all of my, time of lifting now. I'm having pains that I've never had before, just because these stones they are no joke. Lifting those stones off the ground, I've been getting this forearm pain that I've never had before. So I've kind of taken a little bit back from that. staying away from the stones until I get this healed up. But yeah, it's really pushing yourself, and then the friendships you make with it. I mean, everybody, you're in a competition, but you're also out there just, yeah, because you want to see these people lift this, huge stone, or you want to see this person throw this big keg. So
that's huge. Yeah, the competition aspect of it. I even hear with, I think it's similar in powerlifting. I don't know as much maybe in the bodybuilding world, but when you listen to guys like Brian Shaw, who say everybody's willing to help out during a meet and give tips, and it's not they're misleading you and trying to give you a tip that's going to throw you off. They're actually genuinely interested in helping you. I found that the lifting community has been, they're really positive and encouraging. And how many of these meets have you done, or how many of the competitions have you done so far? Do you have a count?
I've just done 2 so far. It's really, it's like when you're getting ready to, you're just like, oh, you kind of dread it away. But then after it, you're like, okay, let's do another.
Nice.
How it's been so far with this. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. It's not repetitive. It's fun. You meet all kinds of people. I'd like to travel with it eventually.
Yeah.
I think my kids will be okay with that.
Nice.
But yeah, it would be fun to travel to some other states, to compete.
Absolutely. Are they all close to where you are in one of the major cities, like the meets that you're going to? Okay.
So far, so far I've had them both be about an hour away.
That's not bad.
And there's one in Kansas City coming up mid-May that I've thought about.
Nice.
And then there's one coming up in Oklahoma City, but I'm not going to do that one because it's just too close. The only thing is I haven't really had much time off to train. I need to probably take a little bit of a break, but I'm so I just like to be out there. So
yeah,
I don't know when my next one will be. I doubt it's going to be Kansas City, but we'll see. I don't know.
Is the what was your placement, just out of curiosity, in those meets?
So the first one I did novice, and I got 3rd place on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. The second one was masters, and there was no weight class. So
boy.
Yeah, so there was no weight class, and then the way it works is even if you do, sometimes on these you can choose what you want to do, and if it's lower and the other person goes higher, then whoever goes higher in the weight is going to trump whoever goes lower. So yeah. I went safe, so I got 2nd place on that one. There was only one other competitor in masters though, but she she was able to put up a lot more weight. She was a little bit bigger.
Okay.
But yeah, it's and I knew when I got there and I saw her, I was like, well, I knew she was going to rip out that 315.
Dang.
So I was like, okay. So I just kind of went with it, but I did really good. I tried to go for the national record on farmer holds and couldn't quite get it for masters. It's like 1:36 and I hit a minute, but that is a lot. It was funny because since it was a no weight competition in masters, I didn't worry about my weight. So I actually just ate like a power lifter, ate like a strongman, and I got myself up to 165.5 at weigh-in, which is kind of a bit for me. So I went to weigh in and she said, do you want to take off your pants or anything? I thought, nah, not worried about it. Because I was like, there's nothing to worry about. Well, with that farmer hold being a national record, there is weight classes for masters. So I had to do the heavyweight. I had to do the heavyweight hold instead of the lightweight hold for masters. Instead of holding, it was 240. I should have been holding if I was 0.5 pounds lighter, but
Oh no.
I ended up holding the 300. So it was pretty intense, but I did what I could. So
yeah. What's the record for the 240?
I think it was a minute 23.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
You could have smoked it.
I figured if I was able to, I figured I could have gotten close. I work on not heavy holds, on dead hangs a lot.
Yeah.
So I just to work with grip strength. Actually, if I was to tell you the truth, there's this contest at our fair, and it's for a dead hang. If you can do like 2 minutes, you win like $100.
Yeah.
So that's what that's what I was actually been working on. But so I can hang for over a minute, just dead hang. So I knew my grip strength would be there pretty well, but so just, we didn't get no practice for this. What happened was our Atlas balls thing, they had to take it off because they were worried about hurting the parking lot, doing it in the parking lot. So we went up, and instead they changed it out and had this farmer hold. So none of us had any practice at it. So I figure like a minute at 300 pounds is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
But always room to improve. It gives me something else to work on. So
that's impressive. I mean, at 350, that's probably honestly more than I could personally do. I haven't had practice with it, but my grip strength it's not what it should be. I've actually got fat grips in the gym that I haven't used at all. Oh, I see you've got your gym in the background there. Would you mind I don't know if your phone is on a tripod stand or anything, but would you mind giving us a little bit of a tour?
I can try.
Sure. You can just rotate it too if you want. That's easier.
So I'm trying to look at the little picture at the bottom.
Yeah.
So the kettlebell and dumbbell area. We have a Marcy Smith machine here.
Nice.
So when I first started, all my bench work was using the Smith machine. I wasn't really into doing, regular bench press.
Yeah.
I got, let's see here. There's bars. There's some stones down there. I don't know if you could see those. Those are a few of my stones. My hubby has gotten into this.
Oh, nice.
Stone making. Yes, so here's some of the molds that he uses. I need to find a place for this. And there's some weights, and then have this rack. You can see that.
Yep.
And that was basically picked up with some weights for, I can't remember how much. It wasn't that much, and the weights I hated, so we got rid of them. And so basically, when we sold the weights during the pandemic, it paid for that rack.
Nice.
There's some more bars. I need to get a bar holder over here, but yeah.
I'm loving the flags. Those are great.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if you could see this thing here.
Oh, is that a calf raise?
The picture, but that's a leverage squat. Leverage squat with the calf raise thing at the bottom. So, and then we have a little bit of like a bike and some other little cardio stuff. I have a treadmill in the basement that I use. I'm afraid to put my treadmill out here. Expensive.
They are. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that kind of setup is, I think people get this notion that you have to have expensive equipment in order to be any good at lifting. And I mean, that right there just shows that you can have, I mean, that's all residential grade equipment. You can lift plenty of, I mean, Coop did a review on the Amazon, like most basic, least expensive rack. I think it's good up to 800 pounds, which is more than anybody's going to freaking lift.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I know I'm really wanting that. I know a lot of people do Rogue and Titan and everything. I'm really wanting that new Marcy. I can't even remember the number on it, but it has both the pulleys at the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's built like a rack, and it has safeties. Unfortunately, this is their older model, so it does not have safeties.
Okay.
So I bench press off the front. I don't really have any safeties except to dump the weight is usually what I end up doing, unless he's out here and he saves me.
Right.
But yeah, this one's got, it's got the bottom, so you can do rows. And it's got 2 on the top, so you can do, crossovers and pull downs and stuff. So
nice.
But that new Marcy has the bottom and the top, which would be even better. So, and the safeties.
Is it got the does it also have the weight stack, or is that plate loaded?
No, you put your plates on it, and it's got storage in the back for your plates too.
That's great. That's
yeah, for like $1,300. I love Marcy.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If anybody's listening to this and they're building their home gym, don't worry about the expensive stuff. Buy it used, buy whatever you can, get your hands on, just start lifting. Like, don't worry about, you can get into the fancy stuff later. It's not a big deal. I wanted to ask you a few questions about your Instagram. Why did you start it? Was it kind of to self-motivate, or is it just kind of like to motivate others, or did you have a particular purpose with it?
So actually my page, the reason it's called, Blessed Home on the Range is because it started out as just like a homesteading type page.
Yeah.
Because we have kind of a hobby farm here.
Awesome.
And I grow a lot of plants and stuff. So that's how it started, and it was just kid pictures and stuff back then. Well, then after about 2 months into my weight loss, I posted a couple pictures, and my followers then, which I didn't have many then, but they were like, wow, and really nice and supportive. And I thought, well, this is nice. This is a little different than I get on Facebook. So I kind of went with it. And so I would just occasionally, I still did the homesteading and stuff on there, posting my foods and stuff. And then occasionally I'd start posting, I was, posting my weight loss, and people were supportive again. And I just kind of went from there and just started posting more about it. And then before you know it, it kind of just took off. The whole page is nothing but. So
yeah.
But I still, I still post things I do on my story, and
Sure.
But the main page is just my workouts and
that's
stuff
awesome.
I'm doing.
Yeah, I think your page is still growing exponentially from what I could tell. Am I correct in saying that just the other week you were at 3,800, now you're at 4,100? I mean, that's like you picked up like 200 followers, and
I don't know what, I really don't pay attention. I think I was around, I think it was around 39 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really hits a chord with people. I mean, just seeing somebody who's, like you or me, just like an average person that's able to go through those kind of transformations. I also love that your Second Amendment, pro Second Amendment, it's kind of in our name. I haven't really gone with it too much either in the podcast or in the business, but I'm always like, yes.
That's just, being from Kansas, especially, it's a very red state, but yeah, I've always, I've shot guns since I was a kid. I don't know. There is some bad stuff, that happens with guns, but it's our right, to have them. And I would hate to see things, something that I love just as I just love shooting targets. So is my, my boys, they love it too. We raised the kids they all had, like gun safety when they were little. They all know, how to operate. A couple of them know how to operate bigger guns, but
nice.
Most of them are just shooting their BB guns and pellet guns, and it's just, I don't know. We just enjoy it, but it's kind of a family thing. So.
I used to shoot a BB gun, and we would nail squirrels in our attic because we had a constant squirrel problem. So I'm right on the same page. Like, our kids are going to know how to shoot guns. And all of you who are listening who don't care about that kind of stuff, I don't care. I really don't care. It's what I like, and that's fine. That's awesome. Like, I don't know, people censor themselves way too much right now and get canceled for it. And I'm just like, if you're not gonna be somebody who enjoys the things that they do unapologetically, then bye. Bye. So that's awesome. So the homesteading stuff, how long have you guys been doing that? Is it ever since you guys, or sorry, have you lived in the same area for this entire time and done the homesteading thing, or you kind of moved around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've lived here for about 20 years now. So we moved in. I didn't realize, or when we were looking at buying a house, I didn't realize we had all this land at first. But I mean, it's not that much. It's only like an acre and a half, but it's fenced for horses and everything. So that was one of the first things I did because I'd always wanted a horse.
Nice.
So I picked up a horse. I've got a donkey out there, Lucky. He was I kind of saved him. And then I have a Mustang, Willow. So
oh wow.
The kids are in 4-H, so we raise rabbits.
Hey.
A rabbitry. And we've done chickens, ducks, pigs. We are not really doing pigs right now because of with COVID, what it's done with the it's slowed down processing plants to where it's really hard to get your animals in right now. They're like a year or so out just to get them processed. So don't really do that right now. Got enough meat in the freezer, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, just gardening and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just things I enjoy.
Very nice. Are you guys self-sustaining yet? Or are you kind of working for that, or?
Not really. I mean, it would, I don't know if anybody could be completely self-reliant, but especially in Kansas, I mean, we've got a decent growing time, but usually by November to like February, that's pretty cold. We're not going to be able to grow much of anything unless you're growing it in a greenhouse that's heated, but yeah, so, but I work for, I'd like to do, jellies and stuff in the summertime, just that kind of stuff. So nice. It's just fun. It's just a hobby, hobbies I enjoy.
Awesome. How many acres did you say? How many acres you guys are on?
It's just an acre and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just enough to have a really decent sized garden. We have a pig pen, we got different pens for the animals, and just enough to, I don't know, in a way, it would be nice to have more acreage, but then you got more to worry about. So this is just enough. Sure. Enough to take care of.
Absolutely. Going back a little bit to weightlifting, I know you've got the Marcy set up and the whole bit, but you have any favorite pieces of equipment that you've used or have used in the past that you'd like to have in your home gym?
That's tough. I mean, I really enjoy the multi-grip bar by Titan.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. Bison bar. Bison bar is one of my favorite bars to squat with because it doesn't hurt my shoulders.
Okay.
So I enjoy that. I don't know. Equipment wise, it'd be nice to have a leg press, but then I'm squatting and I have a leverage. That's just.
Sure. I want to have, yeah.
Yeah, that'd just be for our fun. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to make it, we've tried to make it to where we have everything that we really need in here. And, when I started really getting into strongman, he was all about buying these molds and helping me, with that. So he's made me balls up to like 140 pounds, which is about where I'm at right now. I don't really need to do too much more than that right now. So just doing the basics. But yeah, next up is hopefully a yoke. In the next week, I'm hoping.
Okay.
So I can work on doing some running around outside with that.
Sweet.
Only bad thing is gotta make sure there's no living in the country. We have dirt. We have dirt roads. We get soggy sand when it rains. So it's like I can't wait for the yoke, but then I'm like, weather better stay nice when we get we're expecting like rain for like the next 3 days here. So I'm like,
well, I mean, it could be more challenging on yourself, just getting stuck in the mud.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Cause it gets kind of really sandy and yucky. But
It's funny you mentioned the leg press. I think all of my clients have asked me at some point for a leg press. There seems to be a nationwide shortage on those for some reason, or either that or they're like $5,000, wherever you can get them. So I yeah, it's crazy. There's certain pieces that always I kind of I like asking about the kind of pieces people enjoy using because it gives me a sense of like what people are really want or what the next step is in their home gym. But leg press is one of those things, man. People are always looking for those. Those Atlas stones, do you have a lifting platform for those, or are you just using those outside and just carrying them around?
Right now, just doing it a redneck way. I have a hay bale that tipped over.
Nice.
So I'm just able to lift them onto the hay bale, which is about 48 inches at the women's height for strongman, and that's working out. But eventually, probably get like a box one built someplace outside. So
yeah,
there's gonna probably be more stuff on it. Usually I have in the summertime, I do a lot of workouts on the driveway just to kind of keep in the sun, get suntan. But so I think we're going to probably put some boxes outside, build some boxes that we can use for platforms. So.
Nice. And you said your husband is also getting into the lifting thing. Did he do that about the same time that you were going through the weight loss, or
yeah, so he actually was a lifter back in middle school and high school.
Oh, no way.
And so he already had a little bit of knowledge to go off of. I just kind of learned a little bit from him, but I didn't really start lifting like his kind of lifts until about a year or so into it. But yeah, so he has his own weight loss journey, and he lost, I don't know, about 30, 40 pounds.
Nice.
He went from looking like, big to being cut. And so a lot of people were like, how did you do that? Well, I didn't really know much about it, but about muscle memory. And it really is a thing because his muscles just instantly started coming back. And so he's more into powerlifting lifts, but he enjoys doing the strongman stuff too. So
nice. Has he competed as well?
He did the first one with me. He didn't do the second. The second one, like I said, those numbers are just hard for the men. So anyways, he didn't want to chance it. He didn't want to do it. So.
No, that's fair. Speaking of numbers, do you mind sharing what are your lifts numbers? Squat, I just say squat, bench, deadlift.
So squat, I'm just kind of getting back into it. My last, I kind of took a break from squat with the whole strongman stuff. I wasn't really doing it like I should have. But so my 1 rep max on squat about a year ago was 240.
Nice.
My bench was about 115. It's probably about 115, 120-ish right now.
Okay.
And deadlift, so at my powerlifting meet was 308.
Wow.
I can hit 310. 315 is always iffy for me, but I always do a lot of sets beforehand. So then when I get 15, I can get it to my knees and then it doesn't want to go. But I can get 315 off the ground over and over. I just can't pull it all the way usually.
Okay.
So I don't know. I want to say 315, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I pulled 320 on axle bar at that first strongman meet, but that's a little bit off the floor.
Wait, you pulled 320 on an axle bar?
Yeah, I pulled 320 on axle bar, but we were able to use straps, so that kind of helps.
Well, still, that's phenomenal. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, are you pulling with straps on the deadlift normally, or just like overhand, double overhand?
Actually, straps are allowed in strongman, and I never ever use straps because you always hear negative things about straps.
Yep.
So there's things that like I'd never really done straps, never really done. Sumos were something I've been trying to do sumos last year, trying to learn it.
Yeah.
And like about the last year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get better at it. I still don't think, I don't know. I still think I can pull better conventional than sumo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so straps are allowed in strongman, and I want to start working on that, pulling double overhand with straps, which is not something I normally do. I normally pull, when I pull from the floor, I pull conventional mixed grip.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you could probably put on another 40 or 50 pounds of straps. I mean, depending on where your comfort level,
Yeah.
I can add a
How much I want to
significant
get my
amount.
back jacked up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you gotta be careful of that. But
I mean, you can, it's whatever it takes, when you're doing strongman. So you'll see people really jerk and everything
Ooh.
else. I still try to keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah.
I don't, try to jerk too much. I do ramp it a little bit, but.
Sure. Any major injuries you sustained during that process, or have you kept relatively safe?
Just this thing with my forearms and wrists, I think getting used to the new movements, because doing those two competitions so close, I had to switch from one set of implements, like what I was doing, to this other set. So I went from, that first one, and then jumping into cleaning and pressing an axle bar, which I'd never done.
Okay.
So that I think really, was a big factor for my forearm and wrist. And, you can baby stuff like that with wraps, but I think, just resting, it's going to go away eventually. So.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I wanted to ask you, is the bar in the back, is that just a Titan bar, or is that anything from Rogue, or
No,
the bar in the front?
this one here is, so that came with, what is that? Fitness gear or something from Dick's. It was part of that.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to call that, but the 300-pound set that they have.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's what that one is. Yeah, I don't have, that's one thing I have not got, is like a Titan or Rogue regular bar. I do have a Texas deadlift bar.
Oh, sweet. How do you like it?
At first I didn't like it. I felt like I couldn't lift with it as well. But I don't know, it seems to be great now. But at first took a little bit of getting used to, because I was used to doing strict.
Mm-hmm.
So having they're out a little bit further, and supposed to whip, but I don't lift enough for that whip.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but it's nice. I went out all the way. Army green is like one of my favorite colors. So yeah. That's the color of the bar.
Nice.
So it cost me a little bit. It was about almost $400, I think. Pricey bar.
Yeah. That's a nice bar. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the Texas, both the Texas Power Bar and the Deadlift Bar. They just make a good product. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Out of curiosity, have you ever been approached by anybody with the page on like, hey, let's do sponsorships or anything like that? I'm just curious. I know.
Yeah, I get those ones for like selling leggings and
oh wow, okay,
all those, and I've had, I get all kinds of those ones saying they want to boost my followers and
yes, oh my gosh, yeah,
but no, I don't know. I haven't really gotten anything too crazy out there like that, but yeah, it's usually just, fitness clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gotten a few on supplements, but you just don't know on that stuff, especially if it's not a big name, I guess. It's like, I don't know.
There's there's a bazillion supplement companies out there too, and half of them I feel like are incredibly sketchy, because you don't know where they're imported from, you don't know the quality of ingredients, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
So no, that's fair. Well, that's awesome. So just in general, would you encourage women who are thinking about getting into fitness, would you encourage them starting out to do the weightlifting thing, or would you encourage them kind of like you did to just start out easy, do cardio, do a little bit of free weights and that kind of thing, and experiment with it? Or are you a huge proponent of going into resistance training and kind of sticking with it?
Um, I don't know. I guess it just depends. Honestly, I think you should do what you want to do, what you enjoy. If you absolutely hate getting on a treadmill or doing a bike, cardio, if you hate it, then don't do it. Do what you enjoy, because if I didn't do what I had enjoyed, then I don't think I would have probably gotten as far as I did.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed the walking, and then jumping into running. When I started seeing my pace getting better and stuff, I was
Yeah.
I got really into it. And then after that, after learning a bit more, because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd heard that you should start, I guess, lifting to like tone. That's what they like.
Whatever that means.
Tone your body.
Yeah.
So that's, I started doing some of the dumbbells and the kettlebells and stuff to kind of do that. But it really is, you really just got to do what you enjoy. I mean, if you want to jump on the trampoline, because that's actually really good exercise.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you just got to do what you enjoy, because if you don't, then and you hate what you're doing, then that's just going to hinder your results. So.
Sure. I just want to get your perspective on this. What do you think is the biggest inhibiting factor to getting into any sort of training, whether it be resistance training or just fitness in general, particularly for females? I have some guesses on the guys' side, but I'm curious about your perspective for women.
I think for a lot of women, they get I think men in general just intimidate them when they go to the gym. I know the first time I stepped into the YMCA gym a few years ago, I felt like everybody's looking at me, which that's not really the case. I think there is some people checking, looking to see who's next to them or whatever. But I felt like I was gonna do everything wrong. And I think just when you don't know exactly what you're doing, there's a little bit of intimidation with weights and stuff for women. But I would say that's probably the biggest thing I can think. I think that's why you see a lot of ladies run to cardio, because it's just simple,
Just run. Yeah.
Just run or jump on an elliptical, and but there's trainers out there. There's always people to help. Even if at the YMCA, they always said if you have an issue or a question about one of the machines, to come up there and they'll show you how to use it.
Nice.
So there's always ways to learn, and just to not feel so apprehensive about trying things. So it also helps to have strong friends that are doing join, if you go to, I mean, honestly, I would suggest going to a smaller like a powerlifting gym or something, if you're really wanting to get into the different lifts, than to go to like a big box or like a Planet Fitness or something. But if that's all if that's all you're wanting to do is just to do some little lifts, then that's fine. So
anybody that you've drawn inspiration from over this journey, either guys or gals that you've really looked up to, that you're trying to emulate? It doesn't have to be anybody, but anybody in the fitness community that you kind of look up to there?
Gosh, I don't know. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of mainly just garage gym people is like my biggest inspiration, because they've been the ones that have always been there to say, you can do this. You can do this at your home. You don't have to go out and. But I mean, for me, I wanted to get a trainer and figure out my squat and get that corrected. But there's so many people out there that are just killing it in their gyms at home, and then go out to these powerlifting meets and like do freaking awesome. And so that's, I would say, my biggest inspiration is just the garage gym community. They've just been so supportive. You know, I'm not lifting like the heaviest of weights, but I'm out here doing my thing, and we kind of all you know, have the same thing going on. So
yeah. Have you signed up for the Adam was mentioning garage gym competition, which is going to be,
I still need to sign up for it, but yeah,
okay,
I'm going to do that one. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll be rooting
I did it
for you on
last
that one.
year. Yeah, I did it last year, so going to do it this year too.
Very cool. Well, Sabrina, it was fantastic talking with you. I really appreciate not only the tour, but also just explaining the process you've been through with this weight loss journey and the fitness aspect of everything that you're doing. It's really encouraging to me to see women in weightlifting, because I think, I don't know, for guys, it's for whatever reason, it just seems to be a natural thing. Like guys with the headphones just banging it out at the gym, but women, it seems to be a lot harder to wrap your head around. Oh, I'm going to get into resistance training. And when I see people like you, they're really championing that. That's huge, because it's not like, running's not the only way to lose weight. And it's certainly not the only way to, you know, become strong. And I feel like you mentioned toning, which is just a huge buzzword. It's not, it's like, what even is toning? Like,
right.
It's putting on muscle, but you can't say that. You can't say that. So I love the fact that you're like, you and your husband are all in on this, and you know, just really encouraging people to do the same thing and not be afraid of it. You know, you're just taking away the stigma. So that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being willing to do this interview, and we'll keep in touch, obviously, but best of luck, and hope your following continues to grow exponentially on Instagram. You guys follow her. Was it Blessed Home on the Range?
Yeah, Blessed Home on the Range. Blessed, I think isn't it Blessed Home on the Range?
Perfect. On Instagram.
On the range. I don't even know.
That's fine. And do you have any other social handles, or is it just Instagram mainly?
Just Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All righty. Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please give FreedomCast a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. It would mean a lot to our business. Plus, it's fun to read y'all's reviews. See you next time.